Good afternoon, good evening for some of you out there. Welcome again. My name is Abdel Jacobo. I'm the academic specialist in Mexico for academic services in Grupo SM for all English programs. I'm very happy to have you here again. So, welcome, and we're ready to start with another very interesting session, which is coaching in the classroom. So, I think you are very active now on the chat. Thank you for being here from Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, Spain, United States, Chile, of course, Puerto Rico, Colombia, for all the places you are from. Let me introduce Ileana Rubalcaba. She's going to be your speaker today. So I'm going to read her bio so we all have information about who she is and what she does. Les presento Ileana Elizabeth Rubalcaba Rivas. She's from el Estado de México. Tiene una licenciatura en negocios internacionales y una maestría en dirección de mercadotecnia. Es especialista en imagen personal, investigación de mercados y marketing político. Cuenta con certificación en idioma inglés por el Trinity College London y certificado en TOEFL ITP. Es consultora empresarial en área de mercadotecnia y negocios, docente a nivel licenciatura para diversas universidades públicas y privadas, directora de tesis, conferencista y tallerista a nivel nacional e internacional en temas relacionados a negocios y mercadotecnia, docente de inglés a nivel superior y emprendedora social. Actualmente se desarrolla como directora general de IMAR Consultores, agencia de marketing en la ciudad de Guadalajara, en Jalisco, México. Docente de asignaturas presenciales en la Universidad de Guadalajara, sede CUSEA, facilitadora y docente en línea en la Universidad Latinoamericana en Ciudad de México, asesor externo UDP en ediciones SSM por los últimos 2 años, diseñadora pedagógica de materias en línea para la Universidad UTEG en el estado de Jalisco, certificada como capacitadora y dedicada a la impartición de talleres de mercadotecnia digital, ventas, imagen y liderazgo en estudiantes y emprendedores, además de dirigir la fundación sin fines de lucro Tour Pinta una Sonrisa, dedicada a la labor social en el estado de Jalisco. So she's an expert on today's topic, which is coaching in the classroom. So I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy, you're going to learn a lot. Remember, we expect your participation on the chat. Feel free to write your comments, type your ideas, suggestions, questions you might have. So thank you, Ileana, for being here again. And well, we hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdel. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. And today I want to talk about a little bit of coaching in the classroom. So very welcome to all of you teachers from all over the world. And let's start today, okay? I'm going to share my presentation that it's here. Okay. I think it's ready. Right?
It's ready now, Ileana.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Teachers, please feel comfortable. If you have any question or something to share with us, you have the chat available for all of you. So feel free to do it, okay? Because this workshop, it's focused on you and to develop different abilities now, talking about coaching the classroom. So if you have something, please just write here, okay? I'll be here to read your comments anytime. So let's start. Okay. First of all, as Abdel introduced me, my name is Ileana Rubalcaba, and today we're going to talk about coaching in the classroom. Okay. The objective of the workshop is to identify the teacher's competencies to be a coach in the classroom in order to achieve a high performance profile in their students. And we have 7 different units or topics that we're going to talk about. The first one is coaching or the coaching meaning, the key elements of coaching, coaching implementation pillars, coaching in the classroom, the question, am I a coach? Coaching techniques to train students of excellence, and redefining my teaching strategy. Okay, so we're going to be here for the next hour and a half, and I want to start talking about the coaching meaning. Okay, first of all, teachers, I have to say that the coaching term started by using this term by the different companies, okay, in the business area, because we talk about, or they focus the coaching meaning, talking about the different ways to improve the different abilities that their employees have. For example, companies were focused on developing in their employees the leadership ability, or the leadership skill, or the speaking ability. So they start using the word coaching to help them to develop the different abilities to improve their activities inside the companies. Okay, but we have different type of coaching meanings, even if you want to refer to the business term, or the school term, or coaching in daily lives, or the personal life. So we can receive different types of coaching. So I have here 3 different meanings, and it says, the first one, coaching help people change in the way they wish, and helping them to go in the direction they want to go. Okay, coaching supports a person at every level in becoming who they want to be, and builds awareness, empowers choice, and leads to change. We can say that coaching, it's a group of strategies that help increasing the personal and the professional success. Coaching helps people to focus on reaching their goals, and develops in every person the capacity of learn to learn. Okay, so in my own words, I can say that the coaching process will help you to improve your personal skills in a pretty creative way, because people, it's very motivated, and that person or the people will be capable to solve the different conflicts and problems in a better way. Okay, so coaching will help you to encourage, to self-control, to control your emotions, and to feel comfortable in developing activities inside and outside your company, inside or outside a classroom, or in your personal lives. Okay, so I don't know if you have any question, but if you have, please feel comfortable to ask here in the chat. Okay. Everyone is saying hi. Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay, so I have here 5 authors' definitions. Okay, authors from all over the world talking about the word coaching. Coaching, just like the generic term, okay? Not talking about coaching in the classroom or in a scholar way, okay? So the first definition that I have here, it's from Villalonga, from I think this is a Spanish guy, I can't remember, but we're going to talk about Villalonga. He says that coaching, it's unfolding potentialities and develop professional capacities on people. Okay, and the other hand, we have Rosinski. He says that coaching helps people to reach important goals in life. Okay, significant goals for people. Then we have the definition of Hall and Duval. They say that coaching is the ability to perfect our best skills through eliminating aspects that sabotage the excellence. Okay, so it means we have to clean our abilities or skills using the most important ones or the better abilities that we have to perfect them and avoiding the sabotage situations that we could experience by the time we are developing or using that ability that we have. Okay. Another definition that we have is from the International Coach Federation that says that coaching is creative and stimulating process that helps to maximize the personal and the professional potential of each person. Okay, and finally, I want to set on Bo because he says that it's a systematic process of learning oriented to change. Okay, so it means we all have different abilities, we all have different skills, and we have to use that skills and improve them to do it better. Okay, so at this point I want to ask you something, but before that I want to ask you something about the leadership. For example, I always ask my students if is a leader born or made? Okay, so most of my students say that a leader born. So, for example, if talking about coaching doesn't think that a leader borns because that will quit all the strategies that coaching develops for enriching the or potentialize the abilities of each person. So if I ask you, a teacher, a leader borns or a leader it's made, I will say from the point of view of coaching, a leader it's made because coaching will give you a list of steps to develop abilities of leadership. Okay, so if we focus on coaching will help you to develop any skill, not even if you don't have it right now, but it will help you to potentialize that skill that you maybe don't have or is not your best skill, and coaching will help you to improve that skill. Okay, so now the questions for you. In your experience, teachers, which author's definition is the most useful? Okay, I want to read. I'll give you a minute or many seconds so I can read the chat right here to ask this question, please. So we can say that teachers nowadays are coaches too. Not all of us have the abilities to of being a coach, but we can develop and we can improve and study and develop different abilities to be a coach. Not all of us are nowadays, but we can be one coach in the future. Obviously, we have to train first, right? Tania, this is Tania Poveda. Ricardo, I think a leader is born, but they have to learn how to be a good leader. Yes. At the very beginning, Ricardo, I thought the same thing, that the leaders born, but by the time I was teaching and by the time I was doing courses and everything, I realized that as a leader, you can develop different abilities, different skills to be one. And be a good leader is pretty difficult because you have to have a lot of different abilities to talk, to stay with people, to be close, to respect others' points of view, and a lot of abilities. But the point right here with this workshop is to develop different abilities to be a good coach. Okay. Hi there. Can we see the quotes again? Yes, of course. Here. Which author's definition is the most useful? And I have the author's definition right here. Remember, Villalonga said, unfolding potentialities and develop professional capacities. Rosinski says helps people to reach important goals in life. Holland Duval said its ability to perfect our best skills and eliminate aspects that sabotage the excellence. The International Coach Federation said it's a creative and stimulating process that helps to maximize the personal and professional potential. And Bo says it's a systematic process of learning oriented to change. So we have the quotes right here, and I think a leader is born, but they have to learn how to be a good leader. What characteristics do teachers have similar to coaches, Tania? We will see it later because the whole workshop goes right there. Okay, so we will see the characteristics that we have to have. Heil and Duval, okay, Cynthia, all of them, we can use them to create our own definition. Perfect. It builds awareness, empowers choice, and leads to change. Javier, thanks so much. Most is not all the definitions given related coaching with adults. I can clearly see the link with Schuller's yet. Okay, I think a leader has the ability to adapt to every situation and even allow someone else to have the leadership when you don't have the expertise. Perfect. A leader has to share the leadership when he or she is not capable to do or to develop an ability. That's an ability that a leader has to have. Okay. Vocational teachers are coaches too, since we maximize our students' potential in order to make their performance their best. Perfect. Villalonga here says, social for me, Rosinski is the one. Okay, Villalonga, Rosinski. Okay, perfect. And Holland Duval because they talk about refine and perfect skills. Perfect. Thank you so much for all your comments, teachers. I'm going to continue right here and we're going to talk about or to get deeper on this topic later, okay? So now, we're going to talk about the key elements of coaching, okay? So coaching features or coaching characteristics. Okay, first of all, coaching facilitates resources and specific work tools, okay? So coaching will give you tools to develop our activities better and to improve the skills that we already have, okay? The second point or the second coaching feature is coaching. It's a systematic process of learning. Coaching, it's focused on the actual needs and the actual situation. Why we focus on the actual situation? It's simple. It's because maybe a year ago I didn't have the ability of speaking in public. But after a coaching or after taking different type of classes, I develop that ability and I improve in 1 year. So maybe 1 year ago I didn't have it, but now I do. So that's why one of the key elements of the coaching is centered in the actual situation of the person or of the group that you're going to work with. Okay, the next one, coaching has a change-oriented approach. And finally, coaching seeks to improve the performance in areas where people sue. That areas could be personal areas, academic areas, or professional areas. As I told you a few minutes ago, the coaching could be applied for different areas. It started with the business area, but now we can use coaching in every situation of our daily lives, okay? So now, if you have any questions, please let me know, okay? Here says, I'm checking the chat. Okay, no questions yet. let's continue. Okay, the educational aspects that could be addressed from the coaching methodology. Okay, we have here different aspects addressed from the coaching. Here says the first one, accompaniment coaching to achieve the personal and social development of students. Here I want to say something. It's when the teacher stays near to the student to guide him. Okay, so the accompaniment coaching, it's when the teacher stays near to a student to help them to improve their different skills or the different skills that the student have. Okay, the second one, improve interpersonal relationships and internal communications at school. It means, for example, develop abilities of respect others or how to communicate well our students' feelings or my feelings, and to share different points of view. You know, when you are in the same area, for example, talking about the company, you have to improve your relationships with your other co-workers. Okay, in a classroom is the same thing, and at school you have to communicate well what you need, what you want, how you feel. Okay, the third one is to define the culture, mission, vision, and values of the school. For example, we have here in Mexico different types of schools that develop in their students the leadership area or the leadership skills. There are another schools that develops the sports abilities in your students. No, so the school motivate through the vision or the mission, the whole culture of the school, developing in their students an area that they want to enrich. Okay, the next one, another aspect is to promote leadership and emotional management to teaching teams. That means this is not only for students but also for teachers, because the teachers at the end we are the guidance, we are the guides of our students. Okay, so we have to promote leadership and the self emotional management in the teacher teams. Okay, the next point is to resolve conflicts like school dropouts and coexistence in the classroom. That means, okay, for example, we are all have different type of student profiles. In my case, I have the talkative student, the quiet student, the participatory student, but we have to deal with the whole different profiles that our students have. Okay, so if they are pretty talkative, we have to have the ability to help them to focus on the activity. If they are pretty shy, we have to motivate them to participate and do all stuff. Okay, so we have or the educational aspect will be to resolve that type of conflicts in our school or in our classroom and help them to coexist. The next one, it's to improve the relationship and involvement of families. I don't know, what do you think about this point, teachers? But I think this specific point, it's pretty complex because not all the parents are in charge of their children and the school needs. So later we're going to see the different pillars that we need to develop to put to work this methodology of coaching. But the relationship of the families and the involvement of the families is pretty complicated because we need parents to develop the school and the classroom strategies. I don't know, what do you think about this? Have you ever had these type of problems dealing with parents or involving parents with their children's activities? You know, nowadays the jobs and the daily lives, it's very the daily lives are very consuming to people. So parents most of the time don't have the opportunity to be close to their children. Okay, so I want to read what you think about this. Here says Danny, make verbal and non-verbal messages congruent with each other. Okay. Good afternoon. How coaching can help the class to achieve the goals of the classroom. We will see it later, okay? Because we're going to see strategies and we're going to see how can we achieve different type of goals in our classroom. Anónimo, ¿puedes regresar la anterior diapositiva, por favor? Sure. Let me go right there. Which one? This one? The key elements of coaching? Right there. Okay. How is coaching related to social emotional learning? A lot, because we will see it later too, but the social emotional learning, it's when your students know how they feel and being conscious about others' feelings. So when you coach your students, they have to be in charge of their own feelings and empathy, to develop the empathy so they can share and they can be in the same environment with other people. So coaching is related to self, of course, yes. Hello, my name is Abram from the Dominican Republic. I just want to make a comment. I understand that coaching is a way of motivating people to achieve their goal. Right. Thank you so much. What's the best way of coaching? We don't have best ways to coach. We have just different type of strategies to develop or to improve the skills or to improve the abilities in our students or in our own abilities, okay? How can I motivate my students with special abilities? We will see, Leah, that type of questions at the end of the class. So if we cannot set on this right now, maybe you can answer this question by the time I'm moving through the presentation, okay? Parents need to be more involved with their children's development, right? Maffer, it's important to have parents help, but in most of the cases, it doesn't happen and it's very difficult. That's what I was talking about. Involving parents with their children's education, it's pretty complicated, and they give us, or they, yes, they give the whole work to the teacher. I have heard parents saying like, my son or my daughter is not learning. It's because, or it's the teacher's fault. And I'm like, right, but you have to do your part at home. Okay, it's not just the teacher's fault. You have to help us to coach your son in your house. Do homework, do the activities, develop the different activities with them. Okay, let me read. Involving parents, it's hard because of the hectic lives we live, and every generation is different. Last year, I had a hard time involving parents because they see me as a young and experienced person. That happened to me a lot at the very beginning. Who are you, Claudia? I don't know how old are you, but yes, it's kind of complicated because you don't have the respect of the parents because they see you pretty young. This year is way different. Parents are involved and they have been throughout the school year. However, involving parents is a challenge that changes from school year to school year. Building a good reputation with parents and connecting with students is key. Connect with students, of course. Coaching means you help others to get it the best right. I'm looking here, I'm reading your comments, and all of them are pretty the same. I think parent support is very important to achieve whatever goal we have as teachers, and unfortunately, nowadays, not all parents are able to help. Right, so that doubles our work in the classroom, right? Okay, teachers, thank you so much for your participation. I'm going to continue. So, coaching helps students to develop crucial skills, such as what? I have here 5 examples, but I want you to focus or I want you to set on more skills that our students can develop, okay? So now, for example, we can develop the skill of learn to learn. Learn to learn, it's the ability of being capable to continue learning more and more effectively and autonomously according to their own objectives and needs. Okay, so the first skill is learn to learn. Which other skill can our students develop? The self-knowledge. That means being awareness of who I am, okay? What do I like? How do I feel, okay? The next one is the skill called self-confidence. When we talk about self-confidence, we can say that it's the intimate conviction that one is capable of successfully complete a task or a certain task or mission, choosing the best alternative, okay? We can develop or increase the level of comprehension of every situation. And finally, we can develop personal and social skills by coaching our students, okay? What type of personal and social skills? For example, to respect others, or I can remember, I think Claudia was the one that told me about the social emotional learning, okay? This is the part that we can develop in our students. The empathy part. The empathy is to understand others' feelings, or we can develop the cooperation skill or ability, and that means to be able to reach a common goal with a partner, or to develop the communication or verbal communication. That means the ability to express yourself clearly so other people can understand you. So coaching will help our students to develop many different type of skills, such as these ones, okay? So now, this is a question for you teachers. In your experience, what other skills can I develop in my students using the coaching methodology? I want to read you right here, okay? What other skills can I develop in my students using the coaching methodology? And why coaching is a methodology? That's a question that I want to develop first. Coaching, it's a methodology because it gives you a series of steps to improve on a specific skill. Sorry. For example, coaching to improve the speaking in public. Okay, so the methodology of coaching will give you a series of steps so you can start improving your speaking ability or your speaking in public skill. Okay, so I want to read you. Let me go right there. Okay. This is going out total. The problem that I have had is to ask parents to be involved in their children's education, and they tell me that in Spanish don't work with it. It's supposed in English. To ask parents, oh yeah, that's a huge problem when our parents don't speak English. That affects, for example, the way they do the activities or the homework with their sons or daughters, because they don't have the ability to help them to do stuff. So for them, it's kind of complicated. So they just don't do anything. So in that case, how can we help parents to how can we motivate parents to help us as a teachers to improve our skills or our students' skills? I'm going to move to the next question. I give you this question to, I'll give you this question to think personally, okay? Not to share with us. I want to focus now in the question that I already made, that what other skills can I develop in my students using the coaching methodology? Let me see. Creativity and critical thinking. Thanks, Sarah. How can coaches enhance learning? How can I apply the key elements for coaching in my classroom with teenagers, Nicole? Okay, I'll see this point later, okay? Because I'll give you some strategies to develop the key elements. Okay, next, the social skills, abilities to understand, care about the others, respect the environment. Apart from helping them to develop skills in terms of language, there's some other skills that we are able to develop on them. Can I go back in the previous slide? Yes. Which slide? This one, the coaching? Okay, here is. Let me move back. Self-confidence, okay, self-confidence, the critical thinking, said Cynthia. Anything else that you want to add to this part with other abilities or skills do you think your students can develop by coaching them? Which others? Critical thinking, okay, self-esteem regulation, leadership, okay, taking decision, group management, emotion regulation. We will see this later. Discourse management. I think another skill will be the great expectations we'll have to create in our students. They have to believe they can do whatever they want to, okay? Leadership and motivation. Self-management, okay. The value of help classmates, okay, thanks. Resilience, Mauro. Gabriela, critical thinking, self-confidence, empowerment, okay, values, cooperation, tolerance, creativity, solving problems, okay. Perfect. Showing empathy. This is pretty important, says Daniel. Okay. Innovation and technology skills and critical thinking, problem solving, confidence, a lot of critical thinking, self-evaluation, respect, values, innovation. Okay. Here, I'll stop right here to continue, okay? Now, I want to talk about the coaching implementation pillars. Okay, I said a few minutes ago, I was talking about the 3 different pillars that we need to mix so we can develop the coaching plan with our students, okay? Or to apply the coaching methodology. So we have to focus on the 3 different pillars. The first pillar is the family one. That was the one that we were talking about a few minutes ago, remember? That means coaching fathers and mothers to help teachers implementing coaching tools in the classroom, because we cannot just apply or develop a strategy to help our students inside the classroom. We need the parent support to help us to reinforce the abilities or the activities that we are developing in the classroom, okay? Then we need, in the classroom with the teachers, we need the teachers, okay? So coaching teachers to develop communication skills, conflict resolution, to have emotional domain and leadership, because they are the true guides of the coaching strategy, okay? So we need the family, we need the teachers, and obviously we need the students. Students, by the time they coach themselves, and they can be capable of being coaches of other students, okay? So have the self ability to develop the different strategies, applying it to their daily lives. Okay, Nunez, that it's the author of this theory, the coaching implementation pillars, she says that we have to focus on students over than 12 years old because they are now conscious of themselves. They are older and they can receive the coaching. But there's another author and another experts that talks about the age of the students and how or in which age can they receive a coaching. Some experts says that kids between 5 and 6 years old can be receiving coaching because at that age they are conscious of themselves and who they are, so they can start receiving the coaching methodology to improve their skills at very young ages. But Nunez says that it's better to coach students over 12 years old. Okay, I don't know, what do you think about this? Because sometimes, for example, when you work with toddlers in the kindergarten, it's kind of difficult because they are like sponges. They receive the information and they just act and develop the activity, receiving the motivation or receiving the training from or the coaching from the teacher, but they are not conscious at that age. They just do or they just act because someone is helping the toddler to do the activity. But when they are older, between 5-6 years old, it's what the author says, that they are more conscious about who they are and they can start receiving the coaching. Okay, so here I have to add that to develop or to implement this methodology or the methodology of coaching, we have to mix the three pillars: the family, the classroom or the teachers, and the students, to improve the coaching or to develop the methodology in a better way. Okay, so we need all of them to develop this. Let me see the chat. We have to remember that a motivated teacher can have motivated students. Yes, that's what my colleague Anna said in the workshop of keeping the magic alive. Remember that workshop was on Monday. She said that we have to be motivated every day. And what happens with people or with teachers that have been teaching for the past 20 or 30 years? Where can they find the motivation to be in front of the class, right? Whenever well received coaching develops analytical and logical thinking. Let me see. I think that we can start with children and parents and reinforce with teenagers. Small children learn how to be responsible from the beginning of their school life, right? And the teacher is the key right there. Okay, I'm going to continue right here. Okay, so let's say just as a conclusion that it's a process focused on people. So coaching, it's a process focused on people. Okay. Okay, I'm going to talk about the stages of the process. Coaching in the classroom, we have 6 different stages, okay? First of all, we have the first stage that talks about the analysis of group and performance, the level of the class. That means coaching helps to know how each of the students work and to know the group characteristics, okay? So the types of leadership that I have inside my classroom, the styles of learning that my students have, the behavioral patterns, and the different norms and values in the group, okay? So the first thing that I have to do, or the first stage of the process of coaching, is analysis, the level or analysis the group, okay? The second stage of the process is to plan jointly goals and achievements. That means plan and are oriented our efforts through set different type of goals and to put different achievements according to the level of our group. Okay, so we have to set on the level of the group, because to set a plan or to develop a plan to reach a goal, we have to set on what abilities do my group has. For example, using the first stage, that it's by the analysis of the group and the performance of the level of the class. So then I can plan the goals or the next achievements that I'm going to develop with my students. Okay. The third stage is to motivate. It's to generate a suitable climate and an excellent two-way communication. A two-way communication, it's between teacher and student. Okay, so I need to make my students feel comfortable and feel self-confidence to achieve a collective and an individual goal. Okay, so I'm the responsible of motivate them. Then the first stage, or the fourth stage, is to coach and observe the situation. It's practice with the students, the actions planned together in order to incorporate skills, attitudes, and knowledge needed in a more effective way. Okay, then the next stage is to give feedback. It consists in communicating to the students how is he doing the activity, or how is he receiving or doing the learning process, in order to get clear and constructive guidelines for continuous improvement. So don't forget to give feedback. This is the key factor of coaching. Okay, give feedback. And the last stage is to rethink new goals and actions. It's to select the most successful solution and create a new future alternative for my students or for my whole group, in a group way or in an individual way. Okay, so I want to ask yourself, if you want to share with us in the chat, please feel free to do it. And tell me, what is the objective that I have in common with my students? Do I know the qualities of my students? How do I communicate with them when they don't do something right? And what challenges do I put on my students? I'm talking about in the class, okay? So what is the objective in common that I have with them? The qualities, do I know the qualities? And how can I communicate? Or how can I communicate with them when they are not doing the right things? And the challenges that I put on my students. I want to read, please. Let me see your comments, please. I have to say that this methodology is extraordinary, but it's kind of difficult to apply with kids because they have the potential like everyone, but they always say that they don't understand, or maybe because they don't like the language. So how can we help them to develop their skills if they are not interested? Motivation. Okay, the anonymous. The answer is motivation. We were talking about in past workshops that we have to motivate our students, giving them different type of materials. So if they don't like the topic, they will be interested because you are helping them, you are motivating them to do the activity. develop the lesson. Okay, so remember that we said that this process, or the process of coaching, works better in students after 12 years old, but we can start the coaching process with students between 5 or 6 years old. Okay. Sometimes teachers don't have the parent support. Okay, this is there are many competences that we can develop by using coaching methodology with our students, such as speaking skills, motivation, etc. Okay. Give examples in a real class. Okay, examples about what? Examples of how can I motivate my students? Okay, I can say if we are focused on a history in a history lesson, and I know that my students don't like history, I can use different type of strategies, like watching videos, or start use cutouts to complete a history explaining the history of Mexico or the history of America. Okay, so we have to implement different types of materials, strategies, technological support to help our students to stay focused, to motivate by me, being motivated by me as a teacher, and being motivated by their classmates, doing activities that they feel comfortable and free to do. We will see more strategies later. Okay. Always motivation. The objective in common is having a good time and discover new words. We have a common goal to accomplish, that is to maximize their potential in terms of language. We both want them to speak English, right? That's the main point. I support my students. I told them you can do it. Sometimes it's not easy. Of course, Marisa from Culiacan, it's not easy because I can say, yes, you can, yes, you can. But if they don't feel they can, they don't care if you are always telling them that they can. They have to feel it, and then they're going to do or develop the activity. Okay. Hannah, I have to agree with motivation and encouragement. We are both constantly learning, not always. Okay, we are both constantly learning. The second question was, do you know the qualities? Okay, not always, but I will be great to know them. Okay, then how I communicate with them when they don't do something right. I should ask what, here's the Tania. I should ask what they understood and then explain them in a way they understand. Okay, and the last question, what challenges do I put on my students to produce or speak in English in a Spanish society? That it's a big challenge, true, because most of that schools that are in that, sorry, most of that students that are involved in Spanish society, they just practice the language inside the school, because it's pretty difficult to have English speaking parents. So in a Spanish society, it's a double effort or a big challenge that we have to afford. Okay. Yes, I like students. I love when they make questions over and over again. I try to encourage my students with motivation. Okay. The objective in common is to learn each other new things in a positive and respectful environment. It is important as the teacher to know the learning style of your students, of course. From there, we can start their learning to be successful. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. I have a lot of comments right here, but I have to continue, okay? So, this is a question for you, teachers. Do you think, or what do you think about this? Am I a coach? It's time to reflect on myself, okay? How you ever asked yourself this question? I think you do, because at the very beginning, someone of you said something about or asked me about are all of us coaches? When you are a teacher, that means that you are a coach. So, have you ever asked this question to yourself before? Tell me. Mm, let me see. Okay, I don't have answers yet, because I'm going to talk about the attributes of a teacher coach, and we're going to develop a small activity to define if I'm or I have attributes of a coach. So, attributes of the teacher coach. Okay, I enlist here 6 different attributes that a teacher have to have. Okay, the first attribute it's listen and understand. Why this listening part and understanding it's an attribute of a coach? It's pretty easy, because this is one of the most important attributes that a coach have to develop in our students the motivation and the confidence, because we are the guides of our students. So we have to be open listeners and understand their feelings, understand their points of view, and understand the environment in which they are involved every day in our classroom. Okay, so the first attribute that a teacher has to have as a coach is be a listener and understand. Let me see if you answer something right here. It's a motivational chain in school. Let me see. I'm trying to be one, says Sarah. Trini, yes, this is the best tutorial. Not now, but I will be. Yes, I have asked me. Coach is a very big step, said Sarah. Thanks so much. No, Susana, yes, I am. Nefti, I think that vocational teachers are coaches somehow, okay? I am a vocational teacher who teaches from the heart, okay? I don't consider myself an instructor, but a guide, a helper, a problem solver, a leader who maximizes their performance. That's a coach, Nefti. That's a coach. Thank you so much for your comments. I support, says Susana, I support my students when they don't know something right. I go back to that item in a specific for a while, and I made support on it, like a conversation, giving my student feedback. Feedback it's an important part of the coaching. Remember, I'm teacher in the 3 years class, and with my children, it's really easy motivate them and motivate me. They are pure love indeed, right? I know. 3 years old, those are toddlers. Pure love. That's true. Anonymous. Yes, I do, because qualities are very important to prepare activities for their lesson plans. Okay. To learn with, oh, right. Yes, we are, even without knowing it, Faye. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, you know something, sometimes we develop abilities or skills just in an automatic way, and we don't know that we are something, but we have that attitude or we have that ability without knowing it. So maybe a lot of you can be a coach and you don't even know. Okay, so yes, it's totally true. I think yes, and all the responsibilities that it imply. Perfect. Thank you so much. Marisela says, no, honestly, in these days of online stay, I have learned many things and be aware of the terms like this one. Okay, motivational. Okay, I'm going to continue, okay? So we can set on the different attributes. Okay, we have to have the attribute of availability. That means that the students can get help from the teacher when the situation demands it. So we have to be available for them in any situation they have, okay? Or whenever they need us. Another attribute is to work in present problems. Okay, work on the present problems, well defined and within objective, sufficiently attractive and realistic in order to motivate our students. Okay, so work in present problems. As I told you, we have to set on the actual needs and actual situations of our group. Okay, focusing on the lesson of today or in the unit, or maybe talking about a specific topic, and if they have any type of problem, you have to work with the present problem, not the problem of last week or the problem that they will have in 2 weeks talking about a specific topic. We have to work in the present problems. Okay, the next attribute is to be competent. It's know the environment, know your students, and know their specific situations. Okay, we have to preach with the example. Have a good mood and attitude. That means a coach is a leader, and he must have skills, knowledge, and set with the example. As I told you, as a teachers, we have to motivate us at the very beginning, and then being capable of motivate our class or our students. Okay, we always have to preach with the example. Remember that. Okay, so be a listener, have availability, work in the present problems, being competent, have a good mood and attitude, and use or develop the process methodology to allow our students, or to allow us to achieve the different goals that we have. Okay, so we have to use a specific methodology to reach our objectives, to reach our goals. Okay, so those are the 6 attributes that a teacher have to have if he wants to be a coach, or if he wants to develop abilities or skills of coaching. Okay, so I have a small activity right here for you. This will help to test each other, to see if we have abilities of a coach. Okay, so please, I'll put here, or I wrote for you here, 9 affirmations. Okay, and we have a scale between 1 to 5. So I want you to please, or I want you to evaluate from 1 to 5, where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest, the level of agreement with your actions in the classroom. Okay, so please read the affirmation and quickly write in which level do you think you are. Remember, 1 or number 1 is the lowest, and number 5 is the highest. Okay, after that we're going to add all the points and have the final score. Okay, so the first affirmation is, I ask my students if I can help them improve their work. How many times do I do this in my classroom, from scale 1 to scale 5? Okay, I offer significant recognition to my students. Number 3, it is appropriate to tell a student that he is doing this wrong. Number 5, I focus on the behavior and not in the person. I promote self-evaluation in my students. Number 6, I give descriptive feedback to students. Number 7, I convince my students of the benefits of doing things well. Number 8, I show, explain, demonstrate, collaborate, and monitor the activities of my students. And finally, number 9, feedback in a timely manner on my students' performance. Okay, so please take a minute. I'm reading the chat. Wow, I didn't think I was a teacher coach. I have been teaching for more than 20 years, and the enthusiasm and passion for teaching keeps you active, right? And it's because we are learning stuff every day, right, Avram? It's because as a teachers, we learn every day, every time. I'm learning too much. Thank you, Ileana. You're welcome, Anonymous. I always motivate them to get involved with the class and at the end try to receive their feedback. That's very important. Receive feedback from them. It's pretty functional for me to. I always at the end of my class. At the end of the semester, I talk with my students and I ask them, how do you feel? How did you feel in the whole class? What do you have or what information do you want to share with me so I can improve my next classes? So giving or receiving feedback, it's important as giving them feedback. So receiving and giving. Okay. It's good if we have like a strong student, the one that it's always cheerful to choose them as especially of a leader to motivate them, the other students. Kayla, this is a good question because remember that we were talking about leadership is not as good as it's not good doing or choosing the same student all the time to be the leader because you can dismotivate your other students to being the leader. You know, you have to share the leadership between the other students, no matter if they don't have attitudes or they don't have the skill of being leader. Okay, but you have to help them to share the leadership all the time and give them the opportunity of sharing with others the leadership. Okay, so it's good by the time the leader helps others and motivate others, but if you give them the leadership all the time, other students don't won't feel right with that situation. So I don't suggest you to do that all the time, not all the time. Okay, perfect. Did you get the total? I'll go back. I was waiting for you. Okay, so now at the points of each column, and we have the results right here. If I got between 1 to 9 points, I have low commitment to change. If I got between 10 and 22, I have insufficient commitment to change. If I got between 23 and 35 points, I'm a coaching process. And if I got between 36 and 45 points, I'm a coach. Okay, so how many points did I get? What can I do to improve my score? I want you to share these questions in the chat, and I will say, if I got 1 to 9, the teacher doesn't engage in activities, doesn't feedback, and doesn't set goals. If I got between 10 and 22, the teacher fluctuates between trying to help students develop the activity or give them recognition, is not involved in our systematic development. Between 23 and 35, the teacher engages and demonstrate, explain, and follow up on learning. And in addition, the goals are clearly established. And the last one, that it's the coach, it's the leader of the group, helps students create expectatives, set clear goals, encourages self-assessment, feedback in a timely manner, recognizes the students' achievements, and increases self-efficacy. So, what type of coach are you? In which scale are you? Okay, are you a coaching process? Are you a coach? Do you have insufficient commitment, or do you have a low commitment? So, how many points did I get? And tell me, how can I improve, or how can you improve your score, teachers? 35 here, 39, coaching process, 35, coaching process. Can you repeat the scores, please? Course. Okay, if you got between 1 and 9, let me see here. I'll show you. You have low commitment to change. That means you don't engage with the activities, don't give feedback, and don't set goals. If I got between 10 and 22, I have insufficient commitment. That means you fluctuate between trying to help, develop the activity, give recognition, involve with others, with your students, and giving a systematic or sorry, or giving a systematic process, or doing the process as a systematic way. Between 23 and 35, you are in process because engaged, explain, you follow up on learning, and you have goals clearly established. And being a coach between 36 and 45 means you are the leader, you help students create expectatives, you have or set clear goals, you encourage the self-assessments, you feedback in a timely manner, recognize the students' achievements, and increases your self-efficacy, okay? So I'll be glad to read your comments. I got 39, coaching process, great. Great, I'm a coaching process, Danny. 27, I need to improve the feedback I receive, give them significant recognition, promote self-evaluation, pay attention to their immediately needs. 40 points, perfect, wow. Perfect. Most of you are between coaching process and coach. I think it's because you have a lot of experience, teachers, and you have been a coach from the past years, but you don't even know that you are. Okay, so let's continue with this. Thank you so much for your comments right here. And now we are almost finished with this. So which coaching techniques, or let's see the coaching techniques to train students of excellence, okay? First of all, work regardless of run level. I say, share the same team objective. For example, sorry, I moved from another, sorry. I was in another page, my fault. Okay, the coaching techniques. No matter the activities or dynamics developed in the classroom, I have to work regardless of run level of my class, okay? There are no limits, so please eliminate limiting paradigms, okay? Feel free to share any idea. Encourage creativity of your students. Encourage your own creativity, okay? Support and encourage by looking the individual results, okay? Support students' performance. Set on individual goals and set in the common or group goals, okay? We have to work as a team. Then they can always give a little bit more, so ask for more effort, okay? Don't let them stay in the comfort area. And finally, recognize and congratulate your students. You have to recognize the student leadership. You have to practice the recognition of their abilities, of their goals, okay? Because that will maintain your students motivated every day, okay? So please try to develop these different techniques with them. So work regardless of run level, eliminate limiting paradigms, encourage the creativity, support them, the performance, ask for more effort, and recognize them. Okay, and as I said, one of the main characteristics of coaching is working as a team. We have to develop the ability of working in teams, but what aspects characterize a team in the classroom? Because I always I will always tell you that working in teams will help to your students to develop the cooperative learning, will help you to develop another type of abilities. So if you implement different type of strategies in your classroom, try to use the teamwork or the team job inside your classroom so they can get accustomed to work in teams. They will be accustomed to share different points of view, to share opinions. So it's important to work in building teams, okay? So Napier, this author, proposed 5 elements to build a team. Let me check here. I'm in the chat. Okay. No questions yet. Okay, how can I build a team? Okay, we have here 5 elements to build a team. First of all, we have to share a mission, okay? Share the same team objective. For example, when we run a race or when we run a team race. So, sorry. So sorry. Okay, for example, when you encourage your students to share as the same vision, it's, for example, when I create a run and I say that you explain your students that you're going to create groups of 5 and that you're going to run the race in spaces of 100 meters, okay? So they are all a group, they are all a team, so they have to share the same vision and mission. In this case, the mission or the objective is to win, so they have to work and make a big effort on doing their part well because they share the same objective. In this case is winning the race. So the first point or the first element to build a team is to have a shared vision, okay? The second point or the second element is have a collective responsibility. That means being conscious of my actions because what I do affects the whole team. We all have the same responsibility, okay? The third element is to share leadership. That means every member of the team has a voice and vote. And that's the main point that I was telling, I don't know who was it, but a teacher that wrote in the chat that said that if it's okay to always set on the student that is the leader. No, I don't really suggest you that because you have to share the leadership, okay? And in order to help others to develop leadership abilities, okay? Then interdependent work. It means what I do, it's a part of a whole activity. I cannot do my part alone. We always have problems trying to work in teams because students they are not confident in others, okay? So if they don't have confidence on the other person, they say like, teacher, can I do the activity by myself? So you have to develop on them the ability of working teams, to develop interdependent work and to tell them that what they do, it's a part of a whole thing, that every step he or she makes contributes to a whole teamwork, okay? And the final element is the moral commitment. We are all in the same bag, okay? So we have to develop the ability of support others, okay? Because we are all in the same bag. We are all doing the same activity. So this is a good way to build teams and to develop the coaching part by developing activities or by developing activities, doing it in groups or in small groups inside your classroom, okay? So, redefining my teacher strategy. Teachers, we are finishing this workshop. And I have a final question for you. What is my commitment in the learning process of my students? What can I say? Let me read the chat. We have to promote positive reinforcement in all directions, focus on the actual situations. Okay. Could you please show the statements again? Of course. Here. What happened if teachers don't motivate little ones? What happened? You will have a chaos inside because specifically with the little ones, they get lost every 2 minutes. So if you don't motivate them, they will be spread in the whole classroom doing anything without learning. Okay, how can I help to my children in preschool? Motivate them. By the time you implement different type of songs, music, activities, colorful activities, of course, Kayla. How can we build a team in this situation, in this pandemic? Because we may have students that they don't have resources, so it's not about motivation or participation. That's a good question, Anonymous. For example, I teach and all my classes have been online for the past 3 or 4 weeks. So we use different type of platforms to develop activities in groups or in teams. I cannot work individually with my students in this situation with the pandemic because I have 40 or 50 students per class. So just imagine. So I use different platforms to work online with my students doing an activity, but they have to accomplish one task one by one, and they have to participate all. Okay, so it's not motivation. Well, you can motivate them using different platforms, different effective platforms that works for you. My commitment is develop critical thinking in my students. Okay. Carminia, always support them and show they can do things even if they have problems, always coaching and motivate them. Sarah, be more a coach and less an all-way teacher. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Developing leadership in all students and hard work, and cannot agree more on this statement. Guiding and inspiring, always being able to give feedback. I think I have a moral commitment and I try to share leadership in the interdependent work. I also try to help my students be responsible. That's a pretty good value, responsibility. Can you repeat what moral commitment is? Yes. Here we are. The moral commitment, it's when you make them feel that they are in the same bag, okay, and they are in the same, they have the same role, they are in the same situation, and what I do affects the other ones. So I have to have the ability or develop the ability of support others, and being conscious of what I do affects or helps or enriches others feelings or others activities or other actions in one teamwork. Okay. And my commitment is to improve my skills and be an example to them. Okay. To guide them and support achieve their goals. Perfect. To be better person, better teacher, listener, leader, motivator. Thank you so much. Coaching process, but I want to improve. Okay, we are always improving in this life. The students are guided by teachers and objectives. Empowerment the students. Help them to develop their skills. Okay, thank you so much for your comments. We finish with this. If you have more questions, I'll be here available for you. And please don't forget to answer the survey so you can receive your diploma at the end of the workshop. And I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad that I could share this small workshop with you, teachers. I hope this workshop help you in the future to improve your coaching skills, to focus on the pillars, to develop different type of strategies. And remember, we all have different type of students, different ages, and I have to set on that. Before I develop or I apply the methodology in my classroom, because as a different author said, you can start coaching your students between or starting at the age of 5, but there are more students that more authors that say that our students will receive coaching after 12 years old. So you have to apply these strategies in order of reaching your school or your class goals, okay, and the ages of your class or the ages of your students, okay. So don't stop learning, right? Don't stop. We are always learning. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much. Okay. Thank you. So that's all. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you can apply this new knowledge in your next classes and in your next scholar year, okay? Because now we are at home with this pandemic. So thank you so much, Abdel.
No, thank you, Liliana. Thank you for your support, for sharing, and to help us to continue developing professional development for all teachers now that we are at home. And talking about professional development, on the screen you can see our calendar for next sessions, for the next workshops. We won't have any workshop tomorrow on Friday, but starting Monday, we're gonna talk about professional development for teachers at the same time. And please talk to your colleagues, spread the word, recommend us, because we do it with a lot of love, and we believe in education is going to help us through these difficult times. So one more time, thank you for being here from all over the world. Thank you, Liliana. Thank you for watching us. We will see you next week, and please be safe, and don't forget to continue strong, right? Thank you, and have a nice day, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.